The Aurora drifted through the silent expanse of space, its sleek hull glinting under the faint light of distant stars. Inside the command deck, Captain Elias Rourke stood at the central console, eyes scanning the holographic displays. The ship's instruments hummed steadily, but something in the distance caught his attention, a faint anomaly hovering near a newly discovered star cluster. "Computer," Elias said, voice calm but curious, "scan that anomaly. I want a full report on any energy signatures and potential risks." The ship's AI responded in its usual neutral tone. "Scanning complete, Captain. The anomaly emits energy fluctuations unlike any recorded in human space. It appears semi-intelligent. Probability of direct interaction unknown." Elias's brow furrowed. Semi-intelligent? He had never seen that kind of reading before. The stars surrounding the anomaly seemed to shimmer, almost as if reacting to the ship's presence. He felt a strange pull in his chest, a tingling sensation that made his skin prickle. It was not fear. It was more like the universe was calling him. Lieutenant Kara Venn, the ship's science officer, leaned over the console. "Captain, these readings are unusual. The energy patterns are almost alive, and they seem to fluctuate with your presence. Are you feeling that?" Elias nodded, unable to take his eyes off the anomaly. "Yes, it's as if it's aware of me, like it knows I'm here." Suddenly, for a brief second, Elias's eyes glowed, a soft golden light that shimmered from his irises. The glow startled Kara and the rest of the crew. The instruments on the console spiked, emitting a chorus of warning tones. Outside the viewport, the stars around the anomaly seemed to flicker in response, twinkling in a rhythm that no human had ever seen. "Captain," Kara exclaimed, stepping back. "Your eyes, they glowed. And the stars." "They reacted!" Elias blinked rapidly, the glow disappearing as quickly as it had appeared. I don't know how or why that happened," he admitted, a mixture of awe and concern in his voice. "But whatever this anomaly is, it responds to me. That much is clear." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Science Officer Venn shook her head, muttering under her breath. "This is impossible. Human eyes cannot do this. It must be something in the anomaly interacting with him." Elias ran a hand through his hair, trying to calm the excitement and unease growing inside him. He had always known he was slightly different, sensitive to things others could not perceive. But this was beyond anything he had experienced. Whatever lay ahead, it was clear the Aurora had stumbled upon something extraordinary. "Prepare a probe," Elias commanded, his voice steady despite the unusual energy coursing through him. "We need to understand this anomaly, and I want to be sure it's safe before we move closer." The crew set to work. Robotic arms extended from the ship's exterior, launching a small spherical probe toward the anomaly. The probe glowed faintly as it approached, scanning the energy fluctuations and transmitting real-time data back to the Aurora. Kara studied the readouts. "Captain, the anomaly's energy patterns are adjusting in response to the probe. It's like it's aware of it, or maybe aware of you, Captain. The probe's trajectory changes slightly every time it aligns with your line of sight." Elias frowned. "So it isn't just the probe. It's responding to me specifically. That means this is not just a natural phenomenon. This is something else. Something alive." The ship's AI beeped. "Captain, anomaly readings indicate localized gravitational distortions. The effect on nearby stars is measurable, though minimal at this distance. Recommend caution." Elias nodded. "Understood. Maintain a safe orbit for now. We're not rushing in. But keep all instruments online. I want every fluctuation logged." As the probe neared the anomaly, it emitted a pulse of energy, which caused a ripple through space. Stars in the surrounding cluster shimmered brighter, and the crew felt a subtle vibration in the hull. It was almost as if the stars themselves had noticed the probe and were responding. Elias' chest tightened at the sight. He realized that whatever this anomaly was, it was not just intelligent. It was aware of him, of humans, and perhaps of life itself. A thought struck him suddenly. Could it be communicating? Not with words, but with energy, with light, with patterns. Could it be trying to speak? Kara asked softly, almost to herself. Elias considered her words. Perhaps. Or maybe it's testing us, testing me. We won't know until we understand it better. The glow in his chest, the strange sensation of energy pulsing inside him, returned for a heartbeat. Again his eyes shone for a second, and again the stars responded. The crew gasped. "Captain!" "Your eyes." exclaimed Lieutenant Rami, the communications officer. "It's happening again!" "And the stars, they're moving." Elias focused, trying to control the reaction. He had no idea why this happened, only that it was connected to the anomaly and to him. The stars outside the viewport pulsed in a soft rhythm, almost like a heartbeat, synchronized with the glow in his eyes. "This is incredible," Elias whispered. I think it wants to be understood. It's reaching out to us," Kara typed rapidly, analyzing the data. "Captain, the energy readings suggest a semi-conscious intelligence. It is not hostile, at least not yet, but it is aware of every movement, every thought, every decision we make. This is beyond anything in human records." Elias looked at the stars outside, feeling a mix of awe and responsibility. "Then we must proceed carefully. We are the first humans to encounter something like this. We must respect it and try to understand it." "Nothing else matters." The crew nodded, their initial fear replaced by a mixture of excitement and cautious determination. Each member felt the weight of history on their shoulders. They were on the edge of a discovery that could redefine humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Hours passed as the probe circled the anomaly, sending streams of data back to the Aurora. Elias felt a strange resonance within him, a connection that seemed to grow stronger with each passing moment. Every time he looked at the anomaly, the stars pulsed, sending patterns of light that he could almost understand instinctively. "Captain," Kara said, her voice tense but excited. "These patterns, they're not random. Look at this sequence. It's almost like a language, or a map, something it wants us to see." Elias leaned in, his eyes narrowing in concentration. The patterns of light formed shapes and symbols, not words, but a message of sorts. He could feel it, not with his mind, but with something deeper, a feeling of purpose, of destiny. "It's calling us," Elias said, voice barely above a whisper. "It wants us to come closer. But we must be careful. One wrong move and we could trigger something we don't understand." The Aurora hovered in orbit, the crew holding their breath. Every sensor was on high alert. Outside, the stars continued their subtle dance, as if acknowledging Elias's presence. He felt a thrill of fear mixed with excitement. He was not just a captain now. He was a bridge between humanity and something far greater. Suddenly, the anomaly pulsed, sending a wave of energy toward the ship. The lights flickered and the hull shivered slightly under the force. The crew braced themselves, but the ship held steady. Elias's eyes glowed once more, brighter this time, and the energy wave seemed to hesitate, almost recognizing him. "It knows I am here," Elias said, determination shining in his gaze. "It knows we are human, and maybe it respects that. Or maybe it's testing us." For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The stars outside the viewport shimmered and shifted in patterns that no human had ever seen before. The anomaly pulsed gently, and the air inside the Aurora seemed charged with anticipation. Elias felt the pull again, stronger now. A voice, not in words but in feeling, whispered through his mind. It was calm, patient, and infinitely ancient. He did not understand it yet, but he knew one thing for certain. Humanity had just taken the first step towards something far greater than themselves. He turned to his crew, eyes still glowing faintly. "We are not just explorers anymore. We are witnesses. We are students of the stars. And whatever happens next, we face it together." The crew nodded, their fear replaced with wonder. Outside, the stars shimmered in response, twinkling like diamonds in the black canvas of space. The anomaly pulsed again, and Elias's eyes glowed for a final second, sending a ripple across the cosmos. And for the first time, the stars themselves seemed to acknowledge humanity. The stars outside the Aurora continued to shimmer in patterns that seemed almost deliberate. Captain Elias Rourke could not shake the feeling that they were watching him, testing him. Even the crew had begun to notice subtle changes. The usual hum of the ship now carried a faint vibration that resonated with Elias's heartbeat, as though the ship itself was attuned to him. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data from the probe," Lieutenant Kara Venn said, her fingers flying over the console. "The anomaly's energy fluctuations are increasing, but they're not random. It's as if it's learning from us." "Or learning from you," Elias frowned. "Learning from me? What do you mean?" Kara hesitated, clearly struggling to choose her words. "Every time your eyes glow, the readings spike. The anomaly's energy changes immediately afterward. It's like it's responding to you, not just the ship or the probe." Elias rubbed his temples. He had felt the connection, Brief flashes of understanding, hints of intelligence beyond comprehension, but he hadn't realized just how strong it had become. "I feel it too," Elias admitted. "It's not just energy. It's awareness, and it's aware of me." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Lieutenant Rami, the communications officer, finally spoke. "Captain, are you saying it's conscious? That it can think?" Elias met his gaze. "I'm saying we are dealing with something beyond anything we've ever encountered. And I don't know if it's hostile, or if it's even what we call life." The Aurora drifted closer to the anomaly, careful not to cross any invisible boundary. Outside the viewport, the anomaly appeared as a glowing, swirling mass of energy, constantly shifting in color and form. Stars nearby seemed to pulse gently, almost as if they were breathing in unison with the anomaly. Kara's eyes widened. "Captain, look at this. The patterns of light, they're forming sequences. They're not random, it's communicating." Elias leaned closer, trying to focus. He saw the sequence in the swirling lights, shapes and pulses that reminded him of ancient symbols he had studied as a child, though their meaning remained elusive. And yet something deep inside him recognized them. A faint memory, or maybe an instinct, whispered that these were instructions or a message. For the first time, he realized something extraordinary. The anomaly might not just be responding to him. It might be trying to teach him something. As he stared at the anomaly, the glow in his eyes returned. This time it lasted longer, and the effect was immediate. The stars outside the Aurora flickered and shifted in patterns that mirrored the anomaly's pulsing light. The crew gasped in astonishment. "Captain! Your eyes again!" Kara shouted. "It's like you're controlling it." Elias shook his head, trying to remain calm. "No, I'm not controlling it. I think it's responding to me. I can feel its intent, but I don't direct it. It's teaching me." A subtle vibration ran through the ship and the holographic displays flickered. The probe, which had been hovering near the anomaly, suddenly aligned itself precisely with Elias's line of sight. Every movement he made seemed to influence the probe, almost as if the anomaly was testing his focus, his perception, and his humanity. Lieutenant Rami leaned forward, awe and fear in his voice. "Captain, the probe, it's reacting to you like you're part of it. How is this possible?" Elias shook his head again. "I don't know yet, but I can feel something changing inside me. It's like energy flowing from the stars into me and back. I've never felt anything like it, and I think it's only going to get stronger." Hours passed, and Elias continued to study the anomaly. Each time his eyes glowed, the stars reacted, pulsing in patterns that seemed deliberate. He began to see sequences, not just in light but in motion, like the universe itself was writing a language he could almost read. Kara looked at him with concern. "Captain, are you sure you're okay? You've been staring at it for hours. You need rest." Elias shook his head slowly. "No, I can't rest yet. Not while it's showing me this. There's something it wants me to understand." Suddenly, the probe emitted a sharp pulse of light, and a wave of energy rippled through the ship. The displays went wild, recording fluctuations faster than the crew could comprehend. Elias felt a surge of connection, a thread linking him to the anomaly, the stars, and the probe. The sensation was overwhelming, exhilarating, but also frightening. Kara grabbed his arm. "Captain, you need to step back. This energy, it's too strong. If it overwhelms you." Elias smiled faintly, his eyes glowing more brightly than before. "I'm not afraid. Whatever this is, it's part of us now, and I think it trusts me." The anomaly pulsed again, and this time the stars outside the ship seemed to pulse in perfect harmony with Elias's heartbeat. The crew watched in stunned silence as constellations shifted subtly, forming patterns that mirrored the anomaly's light. "It's beautiful," Lieutenant Rami whispered. "I've never seen anything like this." Elias felt a strange warmth in his chest, a sense of unity with the universe he could not explain. The anomaly's patterns were no longer just energy. They were a guide, a language of the stars themselves. And for the first time he understood that humanity, fragile as it was, had a place in this vast cosmic design. He turned to his crew, determination shining in his glowing eyes. "Listen to me. This isn't just an anomaly. This is a message, a test, and I believe it wants to see what humans are capable of. Our courage, our intelligence, our creativity. We can't fail. The crew nodded, emboldened by his confidence. They had faced dangers before, but nothing like this. And yet, with Elias leading them, they felt ready to face the unknown. As the hours turned into the next cycle, the anomaly's pulses grew more complex. Elias' connection deepened. He began to perceive patterns in the stars, subtle vibrations that told him the positions of distant celestial objects, the flows of energy across light years, even shifts in gravity he could not yet fully explain. Each pulse of his eyes sent responses into the cosmos, aligning stars in patterns that suggested purpose, almost like a cosmic choreography. Kara studied the readings, her eyes wide with awe. "Captain, the anomaly is reacting to more than just your presence. It's responding to your intent. When you think, when you focus, the stars shift. It's like you're part of it." Elias closed his eyes, focusing inward. He felt the energy flowing through him, connecting him to the anomaly, to the stars, and even to the probe hovering in space. It was not power in the traditional sense. It was awareness, understanding, connection. And he realized with a thrill that sent shivers down his spine that humans could interact with the universe in ways no alien intelligence could imagine. "Everything we know about space, it's only a fraction of what's possible," he whispered. "And maybe, just maybe, humanity has the potential to reach further than we've ever dreamed." Suddenly, the anomaly pulsed brighter than ever before. The stars outside flared in response, twinkling with brilliance that rivaled the sun. The crew instinctively shielded their eyes, but Elias stood still, letting the energy wash over him. His eyes glowed and the connection intensified, sending waves of understanding and knowledge into his mind. He saw flashes of distant galaxies, streams of cosmic energy, and patterns of time unfolding in ways humans had never comprehended. The universe itself seemed to breathe around him, alive with intention. And in that moment, Elias understood something profound. The stars were not just stars, they were witnesses, guardians, and perhaps even teachers. The glow in his eyes faded, and the stars settled into their usual positions, leaving the crew in awe and silence. Elias turned to them, his expression calm but radiant. "We have been given a gift," he said softly, "not just to study the anomaly, but to learn from it. To understand that humanity can touch the stars, not with weapons, not with machines, but with courage, wisdom, and heart." The crew felt a surge of pride. For the first time, they realized that humanity's greatest strength was not technology or strength alone, but their ability to connect, to understand, and to adapt. The Aurora floated quietly in orbit around the anomaly, the crew now fully aware that their journey had become something far larger than exploration. They were pioneers on the edge of understanding, witnesses to a cosmic intelligence that recognized something extraordinary in humanity. Elias looked out the viewport one last time, the stars reflecting in his eyes. He felt a thrill of anticipation. The anomaly had awakened something in him, and in all of humanity. And he knew without a doubt that the real journey was only beginning. The Aurora drifted cautiously near the anomaly, its sleek hull glinting in the faint light of distant stars. Inside the command deck, Captain Elias Rourke stood motionless, eyes fixed on the swirling mass of energy before them. The anomaly pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat, and Elias could feel it in his chest, a resonance that made the hairs on his arms stand on end. "Captain," Lieutenant Kara Venn said, her voice tense, "the readings are changing faster than before. The anomaly is generating localized gravitational waves. If we move closer too quickly, the ship could be pulled off course." Elias nodded, his focus unwavering. "We're not moving closer recklessly. Keep all thrusters ready and maintain a stable orbit. We need to understand this, but we also need to survive it." The crew worked silently, each member aware of the tension in the air. Even the ship's AI seemed alert, its usual calm tone edged with subtle caution. Outside the viewport, the anomaly glowed brighter, its light shifting in complex patterns that reflected in the eyes of every crew member. Suddenly, a wave of energy radiated from the anomaly. The ship shuddered, lights flickering briefly. Alarms blared as instruments recorded the gravitational distortion. "Brace for impact," Elias shouted, gripping the rail. The crew tightened their grips as the ship rocked under the force of the anomaly's pulse. But then something extraordinary happened. Elias's eyes glowed, a golden light radiating from his irises. The stars outside seemed to respond instantly, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. The gravitational waves shifted direction, stabilizing the aurora and easing the strain on the hull. The crew stared in awe. Lieutenant Rami whispered, "Captain, you're controlling it. Somehow your connection to the anomaly is affecting the forces around us." Elias shook his head, trying to remain calm. "No, I'm not controlling it. I'm interacting with it. I can feel its energy and it seems to respond to me. But I don't direct it. It chooses to respond." The ship's AI chimed in. "Captain, sensors indicate an intelligent pattern within the anomaly. The energy pulses correspond directly with the glow in your eyes. Probability of successful interaction increasing." Elias felt the surge again, a resonance that filled him with both exhilaration and responsibility. He had never experienced anything like this. It was as if the anomaly was testing him, measuring his reactions and waiting for him to prove his worth. "Prepare the probe for a second scan," Elias said. "But this time I want it to hover near the core of the anomaly. We need more data, and I need to see how it reacts." Kara hesitated. "Captain, it could be dangerous. The gravitational forces alone will be ready." Elias interrupted firmly. "If we're careful and coordinated, we can do this." The crew launched the probe once more, its sensors extending into the anomaly. Immediately the anomaly pulsed and the stars outside reacted in a delicate choreography of light and motion. Elias felt the pull of energy stronger than ever. The probe's lights flickered in synchronization with the glowing in his eyes. Kara's voice was almost breathless. "Captain, the probe, it's aligning perfectly with your gaze. Every movement you make changes its path. It's as if the anomaly is testing your focus." Elias focused, letting his instincts guide him. He realized that the anomaly wasn't just testing him physically. It was testing his mind, his judgment, and even his humanity. Each pulse of energy seemed to challenge him to remain calm, to think clearly, and to make choices that reflected the best of human character. Minutes passed. The crew worked tirelessly, supporting the probe and maintaining the ship's position. Every time Elias's eyes glowed, the stars responded, shifting in ways that reflected the anomaly's energy. The patterns became more complex, almost like a language, a cosmic code waiting to be deciphered. Then a new challenge emerged. A sudden surge from the anomaly created a powerful gravitational field, pulling the aurora toward its center. The ship's engines roared as they struggled to counteract the force. "Hold on," Elias shouted. He felt the connection intensify, a flow of energy that linked him to the anomaly, to the stars, and even to the probe. His eyes glowed brighter than ever, and the gravitational pull shifted, easing the strain on the ship. The crew gasped, awe and fear mingling in their expressions. Lieutenant Rami whispered, "Captain, you're stabilizing it." "With your eyes." Elias focused, letting the resonance guide him. He could feel the anomaly's intent, its curiosity, and its intelligence. It was testing him, seeing if humanity could rise to meet the challenge. He realized that this was not just a physical trial. It was a test of character, courage, and understanding. Kara's voice broke the silence. "Captain, the probe is sending back data. The energy patterns, it's forming shapes. They're like instructions or directions. The anomaly wants us to understand something." Elias nodded, studying the patterns. They were complex, shifting constantly, but a strange familiarity tugged at his mind. He had seen similar shapes in visions, flashes of understanding that seemed to come from somewhere deep within him. The anomaly was not just testing him, it was teaching him. Suddenly, the anomaly pulsed again, and Elias's eyes glowed in response. The stars outside shimmered, moving in patterns that mirrored the energy waves. For a moment, the entire crew felt as if the universe itself was alive, aware of their presence and watching their actions. The pulse intensified, and Elias felt a surge of energy course through him. It was overwhelming, but he held steady, letting the connection guide him. He could feel the anomaly's intelligence probing his mind, sensing his courage, his empathy, and his determination. He realized that the test was not about power or control. It was about humanity. "You're doing it, Captain," Kara whispered. "You're proving that humans were capable of more than we ever imagined." Elias's eyes glowed brighter, and he reached out with his mind, sensing the anomaly's energy like an invisible thread. He could feel the stars responding to his intent, aligning in a way that reflected both his focus and his heart. "Hold the course," he commanded. "We're going to see this through." Every choice we make matters. Every action counts. The crew worked in perfect synchronization, adjusting the ship's trajectory and maintaining the probe's position. The gravitational waves subsided slightly, and the anomaly pulsed in recognition of their effort. The stars outside shone brighter, forming patterns that seemed almost celebratory. For the first time, Elias felt a deep connection, not only to the anomaly, but to the universe itself. It was a bond that transcended words, a communication through energy and intention. He realized that humans had the ability to interact with the cosmos in ways that no alien intelligence could anticipate. The anomaly pulsed once more, and a stream of light shot outward, forming a bridge of energy that extended toward the probe. Elias felt a rush of understanding. The anomaly was offering a choice, a challenge to see if humanity could rise to its level of awareness. He turned to the crew, his eyes still glowing. This is it. We have a chance to prove ourselves, not with weapons, not with technology, but with courage, understanding, and unity. Are you ready? The crew nodded, their fear replaced by determination. They had faced danger before, but this was different. This was a test of the human spirit itself. Elias focused, letting the connection guide him. His eyes glowed brighter, and the stars outside aligned in intricate patterns. The gravitational waves stabilized, and the probe hovered perfectly at the center of the anomaly. The energy bridge shimmered, waiting for their next move. Then, without warning, a vision flashed before Elias's eyes. He saw distant galaxies, streams of cosmic energy, and patterns of time unfolding in ways humans had never imagined. He saw himself connected to the stars, guiding them with compassion, wisdom, and courage. The vision faded, leaving him breathless. The anomaly pulsed again, a gentle wave of energy that washed over the aurora. Elias's eyes dimmed slightly, but the resonance remained. The stars outside settled into their usual positions, though their light seemed brighter, more aware, more alive. "Captain," Kara said softly, I think we passed the first part of the test. The anomaly is responding positively. It recognizes us." Elias nodded, a mixture of relief and pride in his expression. "This is only the beginning. The universe is vast, and this anomaly is teaching us something profound. Humanity has the potential to reach further than we ever imagined, if we have the courage to try." The crew worked quietly, collecting data and maintaining the ship's position. They were exhausted but exhilarated. They had faced the anomaly's first challenge, and they had succeeded. Elias looked out the viewport, his eyes reflecting the light of the stars. He could feel the universe watching, waiting, and acknowledging humanity, and he knew that the true test was still ahead. The aurora floated silently in orbit, the crew united in purpose and spirit. Outside, the stars twinkled, responding to the captain's presence, as if the cosmos itself had begun to recognize the courage and potential of humanity. And for the first time, Elias understood the truth. The universe was not just a place to explore. It was a teacher, a guide, and a mirror of human potential. The aurora floated in the dark void of space, its hull bathed in the soft glow of the anomaly. Captain Elias Rourke stood at the viewport, eyes reflecting the swirling energy outside. The stars had settled into a delicate pattern, almost like a cosmic map, and Elias felt the strange resonance inside him growing stronger. "We need to understand what this anomaly really is," Elias said to Lieutenant Caravan, who was reviewing the latest data from the probe. "It's not just energy. It's intelligence. And I have a feeling it's ancient." Kara nodded, her fingers flying over the console. "Captain, the readings are incredible. The energy is structured in ways that resemble technology, but it's alive. It's like the remnants of a civilization that existed long before humans even existed." Elias's brow furrowed. "You mean an alien civilization? One that might have learned to harness this energy?" Kara's voice was filled with awe. "Yes, but not just harness it. It seems integrated with the universe itself. Their knowledge, it's beyond anything we've imagined." Elias turned back to the anomaly, feeling the pull stronger than ever. It was as if the energy was calling him, drawing him closer, inviting him to understand. And this time he sensed something more. Something almost familiar, like a memory buried deep within his soul. "Captain," Lieutenant Rami said, his voice low, "the probe just sent back a new set of readings. There are structures inside the anomaly, not physical but patterns, complex repeating designs that look almost like architecture." Elias's eyes widened. "Architecture. Inside an energy anomaly? Yes, Kara confirmed. It's like a city of energy. A civilization built not with stone or metal, but with pure cosmic energy. And somehow, it's aware of you. Elias took a deep breath. He could feel the connection intensifying. His eyes glowed faintly, and the stars outside seemed to pulse in harmony with his heartbeat. He stepped closer to the viewport, letting the resonance guide him. "Captain," Kara said softly, "I think it's trying to communicate. The patterns, the pulses, they're forming a language. And it's something only you can interpret." Elias focused, letting the energy flow through him. Shapes, lights, and patterns flashed in his mind. Complex sequences that defied human logic yet somehow made sense. He saw a vision, a vast civilization long gone but whose energy remained woven into the fabric of the universe. They had harnessed the same connection he now felt, a bond between consciousness and the stars themselves. "They were like us," Elias whispered. "Humans, or something like humans. They learned to interact with the cosmos not by force but by understanding. And I think I'm being shown their knowledge." The anomaly pulsed again, sending a wave of energy across the ship. The crew braced themselves, but Elias remained calm, letting the connection guide him. His eyes glowed brighter and the stars outside shimmered, forming patterns that mirrored the vision in his mind. Kara studied the data, her eyes wide with awe. "Captain, it's incredible. The structures, the patterns, they're forming a map, a guide, and it's responding to your thoughts. The anomaly recognizes you." Elias felt a surge of excitement mixed with responsibility. "This isn't just a test," he said. "It's an opportunity. We can learn from them. Humanity can understand what they understood, but we must be careful. One wrong move and we could destroy what remains." The Aurora hovered at the edge of the anomaly, the crew watching as the probe transmitted images of energy structures that defied human comprehension. Towers of light spiraled into the void. Bridges of energy connected vast floating cities, and patterns of stars aligned in intricate designs that seemed to reflect the civilization's history. Elias's mind raced. This knowledge, it's not just scientific, it's spiritual. They understood the universe as a living system, connected to consciousness itself, and now they're teaching us. Lieutenant Rami shook his head in disbelief. "Captain, if this is true, humanity could reach heights we've never imagined. But it's dangerous. We don't fully understand it yet." Elias nodded. "I know, but that's why we must proceed carefully. We have the chance to learn, to grow, and to show that humans are capable of more than we realize." The anomaly pulsed again, stronger this time. Elias felt the energy surge through him, visions flashing before his eyes. He saw the civilization rise and fall, their knowledge woven into the cosmos, waiting for someone capable of understanding it. And he realized something profound. The stars themselves had preserved this knowledge, and they had chosen him as a bridge. "Captain," Kara said, her voice trembling, "the probe is showing something new, a central structure, a core of energy. It's pulsing like a heart, and it's waiting for you." Elias took a deep breath. He could feel the anomaly's intent, its intelligence, and its curiosity. The core was not just energy. It was a repository of knowledge, a test of humanity's potential. And he knew he had to face it. "Prepare the ship for closer observation," he said. "We're going to approach the core, carefully, step by step. Everyone, stay alert." The crew worked in precise coordination, adjusting thrusters and stabilizing the Aurora. Outside, the stars shifted in response to Elias's glowing eyes, forming patterns that seemed to guide their path. The anomaly's energy pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat, and Elias felt a deep sense of connection, as if he were part of a living system. As the Aurora neared the core, the energy intensified. The ship's instruments registered waves of information, data streams beyond human comprehension, yet somehow understandable through the resonance Elias felt. Shapes and symbols flashed in his mind, forming a language of light and energy that conveyed knowledge, history, and purpose. "This is incredible," Kara whispered. "It's like we're witnessing the memory of an entire civilization." Elias's eyes glowed brighter and he stepped closer to the viewport. "It's more than memory. It's a guide. They're showing us how to connect with the universe, how to use knowledge with compassion and wisdom, and they're trusting us to continue their legacy." The anomaly pulsed one final time, and the core emitted a wave of energy that washed over the aurora. The ship's systems stabilized, the stars aligned perfectly, and the crew felt a profound sense of calm and understanding. Elias turned to them, his expression serious but radiant. "This is our chance, everyone. The stars, the anomaly, they've chosen us. Not because we are the strongest or the fastest, but because humans can think, feel, and understand in ways no other species can. This is our opportunity to show what we are capable of." The crew nodded, their fear replaced with awe and determination. They had faced the anomaly's test and survived. Now they were witnesses to a revelation that could change humanity forever. Kara studied the final readings. "Captain, the core is stable. It's almost as if it recognizes that we are ready. And the patterns, the stars, they're showing a path forward, a way to understand and preserve this knowledge." Elias smiled faintly, feeling the weight of responsibility. "Then we follow it. Carefully, wisely, and with courage. Humanity has a place among the stars, and we cannot waste this chance." The aurora hovered near the core of the anomaly, the crew united in purpose. Outside, the stars shimmered in patterns that mirrored the energy structures within, as if the entire galaxy was acknowledging their presence. The anomaly pulsed gently, a living testament to a civilization that had reached the heights of understanding, and now entrusted that knowledge to humans. Elias took a deep breath, feeling the energy flow through him. He had seen the past, understood the present, and glimpsed the future, and he realized that humanity, fragile as it was, had the potential to rise to the challenge, to learn and to shine among the stars. "We've been given a gift," he said softly. "Not just knowledge, but a chance to prove ourselves, to show the universe that humans can understand, create, and connect in ways no one else can. This is our moment." The stars outside twinkled in response, and the anomaly pulsed almost in approval. Elias's eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the brilliance of the cosmic structures. For the first time he felt truly connected, not just to the anomaly, not just to the stars, but to the universe itself. And he knew, without a doubt, that humanity had passed the test of courage and understanding. The journey was far from over, but the revelation had changed everything. Humanity was no longer just explorers. They were part of something greater, something alive and eternal. And as the aurora floated in orbit around the anomaly, the crew looked out at the stars with new eyes, ready to face the next challenge, guided by knowledge, courage, and the glowing light of human potential. The aurora hovered at the heart of the anomaly, the swirling energy casting shimmering reflections across the command deck. Captain Elias Rourke stood at the viewport, eyes glowing faintly as he felt the anomaly's pulse resonating through him. It was stronger than ever, a living, conscious presence that seemed to stretch across light years, connecting stars, galaxies, and perhaps even time itself. "This is it," Elias whispered, more to himself than to anyone else. "The final test. The choice we have to make." Lieutenant Caravan looked at him, awe and worry etched into her face. "Captain, are you sure we should do this? The energy, it's beyond our understanding. If we misstep—" "We won't misstep," Elias interrupted gently. "We've come this far. The anomaly isn't just testing us. It's offering us a chance to show what humanity can do." The crew fell silent, feeling the weight of the moment. For weeks they had faced strange energy pulses, mysterious patterns in the stars, and an intelligence far beyond anything humans had ever encountered. They had witnessed the anomaly react to Elias's eyes, to his focus, and to the courage of every member aboard. Now they understood that what lay before them was not a threat. It was a challenge and a gift. Lieutenant Rami finally spoke, his voice trembling. "Captain, what exactly is the choice?" Elias looked at him, his gaze steady. "The anomaly wants to know if we can connect fully, not with machines, not with force, but with understanding. If we can synchronize ourselves with the universe, the stars, and the knowledge it holds, it will open pathways for humanity that no other species has ever seen. But if we fail, we risk losing everything, including the knowledge itself." Kara swallowed hard. "And you? You're ready for this?" Elias nodded, his eyes glowing brighter. "I have to be. For humanity, for the crew, for the universe itself. We cannot turn back now." The anomaly pulsed rhythmically like a heartbeat, and Elias felt a surge of energy flow through him. It was as if the stars themselves were responding, their light shimmering in perfect harmony with his thoughts and intent. The patterns of the anomaly grew more complex, more deliberate, forming shapes and sequences that seemed to reach out to him, asking him to step forward. "Captain," Kara said softly, "it's showing you something. A vision." Elias's mind filled with images, galaxies spinning, streams of energy flowing like rivers, and distant star systems aligning in patterns that seemed intentional. He saw civilizations rise and fall, entire solar systems born and transformed, all connected by threads of energy and consciousness. And at the center of it all was him, glowing, guiding, connecting, and understanding. "This is what it wants me to see," Elias whispered. "It wants us to prove that humanity can connect with the cosmos itself." He turned to his crew, eyes still glowing. "This is not just about survival. This is about potential, about showing that humans can rise to meet the universe's challenges with courage, understanding, and unity. Are you with me?" The crew nodded, their fear replaced by resolve. They had faced the anomaly's tests and survived. They had witnessed Elias's connection with the stars and felt a spark of that same potential within themselves. Elias extended his hands, and for the first time, he felt the anomaly's energy respond directly to him. Streams of light flowed toward him, intertwining with his own aura. The stars outside shifted in perfect patterns, forming constellations that mirrored the energy structures inside the anomaly. It was beautiful, overwhelming, and infinitely alive. "Focus," Elias instructed. "We have to synchronize, all of us. Our minds, our hearts, our courage. They must align with the energy." The crew joined him, closing their eyes and letting the resonance guide them. The ship vibrated gently as the anomaly's energy enveloped them, and Elias felt a wave of understanding pass through his consciousness. He saw the patterns in the stars not just as shapes, but as a living map, a guide to energy, knowledge, and connection that could elevate humanity beyond anything they had imagined. Suddenly, the anomaly pulsed with incredible intensity. The energy surged through the aurora, threatening to overwhelm the ship. Alarms blared and the crew braced themselves, but Elias's glowing eyes focused the energy, channeling it safely. The stars outside flared, twinkling in perfect alignment as if cheering humanity's effort. "It's testing our intent," Elias said, his voice steady despite the pressure. "It wants to know if we can handle the knowledge responsibly." The energy pulse grew stronger and Elias felt the connection deepening. He could sense the intelligence within the anomaly, vast and ancient, probing his thoughts, emotions, and courage. He realized that the true test was not power, it was character. Could humans act with wisdom, compassion, and understanding when given the chance to influence the cosmos itself? Lieutenant Rami spoke softly, awe in his voice. "Captain, it's responding to you, to all of us. The stars, they're alive with our presence." Elias nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He let the energy flow through him, not controlling it but guiding it with clarity, courage, and heart. The anomaly pulsed in recognition, and the stars outside formed patterns more intricate and beautiful than anything humans had ever seen. Minutes passed, and the resonance reached a crescendo. The crew felt as if they were part of the universe itself, their thoughts and actions entwined with the stars, the anomaly, and the flow of energy across galaxies. Elias felt a sense of unity, understanding, and purpose unlike anything he had ever known. "This is it," he whispered. "We've passed the test. Now comes the choice." A final pulse of energy radiated from the anomaly, bathing the aurora in brilliant light. The stars outside aligned perfectly, forming a pattern that stretched across the cosmos. Elias realized the choice was his: to fully awaken the knowledge of the ancient civilization, risking exposure to cosmic forces beyond comprehension, or to retreat, preserving humanity's safety and retaining only a glimpse of the wisdom offered. He looked at his crew, each one trusting him completely. "We can't turn back now," he said softly. "This is our chance to show what humans are capable of. Our courage, our understanding, our spirit, this is what matters. If we fail, it won't be because we weren't brave. It will be because we didn't dare to reach for the stars." Elias closed his eyes, letting the energy guide him. His glowing eyes brightened, and he felt the anomaly's intelligence merging with his consciousness. Streams of light intertwined, weaving a tapestry of knowledge, understanding, and cosmic awareness. The stars outside pulsed in perfect harmony, and the crew felt a sense of connection they had never known. With a deep breath, Elias made his choice. He opened his mind fully to the anomaly, embracing the energy, the knowledge, and the connection. The stars flared, the anomaly pulsed, and the aurora hummed with the resonance of the universe itself. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Elias saw visions of the future, humanity exploring distant galaxies, understanding energy and consciousness in ways no alien civilization had ever achieved, and reaching heights of courage and wisdom that would shape the course of the universe. The energy began to subside, and the stars outside settled into a harmonious glow. Elias' eyes dimmed and he felt the connection remain, not as a burden but as a gift, a bond between humanity and the cosmos that could never be broken. Kara stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "Captain, you did it, we did it. The anomaly. It recognizes us, humanity." Elias smiled faintly. "No, Kara, we didn't just survive. We proved something greater. That humans, fragile as we are, can rise to the challenge, understand the universe, and connect with it in ways no one else could. That is our gift." The crew looked out at the stars, now shining brighter than ever, the constellations forming new patterns that reflected the knowledge and awareness shared with them. The aurora floated silently, a witness to humanity's first step toward a greater destiny. Lieutenant Rami spoke softly, awe in his voice. "Captain, the stars. They're reacting to us, to humanity. We've never seen anything like this." Elias nodded. "And we've only begun? This knowledge, this connection. It's a responsibility. But it's also proof that humans can rise above fear, above doubt, and achieve greatness. We are part of the universe now, not just observers but participants." The anomaly pulsed one final time, a gentle wave of energy that washed over the ship. The crew felt calm, inspired, and ready for the challenges ahead. Elias looked at them, pride swelling in his chest. "We've been given a gift," he said softly. "Not just knowledge, but trust. Trust from the stars, from the universe, and from a civilization that believed in our potential. We cannot waste it. Humanity has a place among the stars, and now we know it." The aurora turned slowly, leaving the heart of the anomaly behind. The stars outside twinkled as if waving farewell, their light carrying the promise of new adventures, new discoveries, and the enduring courage of humanity. Elias looked out at the endless expanse of space, his eyes reflecting the brilliance of countless stars. He smiled, knowing that the journey was far from over, but humanity had taken its first step into a future filled with wonder, connection, and infinite possibility. And for the first time, he felt certain of one thing. The universe had recognized humanity, and humanity had risen to meet it. The aurora sailed on, the crew united, and the stars themselves seemed to watch, twinkle, and respond, forever changed by the courage and heart of humans.